You're all invited to the Slumber Party Massacre Luncheon.
We'll tear your soul apart.
Drink some of this, Michael. Be one of us.
Death has come to your little town, Sheriff. You can either ignore it or you can help me to stop it.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of the Slumber Party Massacre Luncheon.
Welcome. Excited to be here. Excited to talk horror. And
Who are we?
I'm Hunter. And I think that you and I have vastly different perspectives, but just a little about me. I wouldn't call myself a lifelong horror fan. I have had dips and ebbs of like, oh, I'm not interested in horror right now. And then parts of my life where I'm really into a kind of horror. And then there are whole swaths of horror that I just don't like at all. And so I'm really kind of getting back into it. And really, really, really like expanding and seeing new things out there.
Absolutely, dude. I am Rob, Big Shug, Robert, Rob Man, Space Bob, Bob Paul. I'll answer to a lot of shit. RP Dub. I think that's all of them.
I think mine is just Hunter and like the People's Champ. I think your brother called me that one time.
Hunter the People's Champ Petrus.
That was it.
Yep. He's such a fucking shithead.
Yeah. One time he called me that, and I was like, oh, I kind of like that. Yeah.
I would say I've been an ookie spooky since very young. I've loved horror my entire life. Movies in general.
Yeah.
But especially horror.
What do you recall what the first horror film that you watched was ever? Or first memory?
Yeah, let me think. So it might not count, but the first scary thing I remember seeing is, okay, this is so weird, dude. Because I remember being in my great-grandmother's living room. She had black and red shag carpet.
Awesome.
I was laying in it. Big, square wood TV with the changer still on the knob.
Right.
My dad and Uncle Mark, and I guess me, all I remember is the scene of them strapping down Kirk in Wrath of Khan.
Oh.
And putting the thing in his ear.
Okay.
Vivid memory for me. I remember being like, what? I remember thinking, this is weird and wrong, but I like seeing it.
Yeah. I would say that my first experience was a similar one. My first scary-ish movie, Anaconda. And I'm going to be real with you. It's a bad movie. Yeah. It's not a good movie. It holds a special spot in my. There's some nostalgia.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Yeah, and you and I have had this conversation before. One of my favorite types of horror is creature features. I love them.
Me too.
I will always love creature features. I think we could have a massive debate, and I think we will on one episode on what you can categorize as creature features.
Probably.
Yeah. Does Alien?
Aliens are not creatures. Well. Fuck. Alien is a creature feature, though.
Yeah. So anyway, another episode, but I have a special place. I remember it was a Friday night. My whole family went to bed.
Yeah.
My dad would stay up late, and that's when he would get to watch the movies that he wanted to watch.
Yes.
And I got out of bed one night and was like, I'm not sleepy. I don't remember being scared. Like I just got up and so my dad was sitting in his recliner watching it. I curled up next to him.
That's so.
And I remember him saying, "This is probably a bad idea." This is probably a bad idea. And I made it from, I mean, it was like the movie had just started.
Okay.
And I made it all the way to where the guy jumps off the waterfall.
Oh, wow.
So pretty far.
Deep.
And then, yeah, pretty deep. And then by that point, I think my dad was like, "Oh, I've made a grave error.
This is not going to be."
Yeah. I think he could see, it was dark. I think he could see the like my eyes.
Dude.
And so he put me to bed, and he went back and watched it. And eventually, I think he had to come to bed with me. And they're like,
"See this? Human bones. That's how it comes out."
I always remember is the next morning I got up, and I think that he was probably trepidatious to tell my mom about it, but I think he was scared that I was going to wake up and be like, I'm horrified. And I walked up to him and I go, "So what else happened?"
So what?
What did I miss?
What did I? But I still need to know what happens.
And I think the most endearing and best part of my dad is he told me.
And
he told me in order who died next and what happened. Just classic David. Just like, wasn't going to hold it back. And I think that's when my mom was like, What now? And that's when Dad, he knew.
It's funny you mentioned, I've got a real similar story of when I was a kid. My dad is a huge horror nerd too. Like I say, we were watching Wrath of Khan and I was rolling around on a shag carpet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No cares. Like, as far as
that's my dad. That's my dad.
So, I'll never forget, dude. He woke me up one night. It was like maybe midnight-ish, something like that. I guess he couldn't sleep. He woke me up. And I'll never forget my dad, like, shaking my shoulder and leaning down and going, "You want to watch Lake Placid?"
Oh, my God. I had another story with Lake Placid.
That's fucking crazy, dude. Yeah, dude.
Yes.
So we stayed up and watched it, and I'll never forget how hard my dad laughed at the part where Betty White says,
"If I had a dick, this is where I'd tell you to suck it."
That movie, when I got to Lake Placid, I was desensitized by Anaconda, so I didn't get scared by that movie at all.
No.
But I loved it. And again, I also have it as a special spot.
Dude. Oliver Platt.
I mean, the sheriff, I'm drawing a name.
Bill Pullman.
The actor. No.
It wasn't Pullman?
He's Wildlife.
Mm.
The sheriff is the British actor who plays Mad Eye Moody.
Oh, Brendan Gleeson.
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah. Top to bottom, just fantastic film.
Stacked cat.
Yeah, and you know, again, we'll get into more of this on Creature Features episode, but like I think there's a lot of lore that I have in my own life with Creature Features that I think built me up for having that love. But yeah, I think, you know, what brought me back into horror recently has been what I think we're going to focus on today, which is folk horror.
Folk horror.
And yeah, so I think that folk horror, for those who are not intimately aware of what it is, it's probably a specific genre that has gotten broadened, but it has elements of folklore and paganism and witches. It's very eerie. It's got a slow burn in a lot of cases. You know, I think that it is like the 1960s or 70s Supreme Court case on pornography where it's hard to define it, but you know it when you see it.
You know it when you see it. Folk horror is that kind of way. And you can mix a lot of different things into folk horror.
Yeah. So it's funny you say that. I was going down a list as I was trying to think about folk horror, and I was looking at other people's kind of content and talking about it. And one of the ones that I would have never had on my list, but I don't disagree with at all, Hot Fuzz.
Folk horror, for sure.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. You think, and that's what one of the things I love about that movie is it's a play on action movies in a horror film.
A horror comedy.
Yes.
It is like, it's an underrated hit. And I know it was huge, Edgar Wright at the time, but I think that it's got breadth today that needs to be revisited.
I think so too, dude. I think that trilogy 10 years removed is ripe for a renaissance.
Yeah.
That trilogy, the Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, At the World's End.
I love At the World's End.
At the World's End they're all great movies. Every one of them, like, I can't pick a favorite. They're all great.
Yeah. But yeah, so very, I think that everyone could think of a horror film, could think of a dozen horror films, and one of those is probably going to be, I think,
a folk. You've seen them and just don't know it, probably.
And I think, I think how I started getting back into horror, I really started getting into the A24 ones, and they dabble a lot into folk horror.
Oh yes, yeah.
A lot. I think they really support.
Yeah, and if you think about it, the last decade, like probably 4 of the last like top 10 horrors have been folk horror films.
Absolutely, and I'm when you and I go
hot take,
and we name our
Sinners.
So funny you say it. It's not on my top 5, but I thought about including it for my top 10 because I would argue this. So, like, if you're going to get by the books and say paganism, folklore, whatever,
cultural.
Yeah. So I think that there are people,
and there's straight up paganism in it.
A lot of religious horror bleeds into folk horror. If you look at the top 100 horror films, 40 to 50% of them are going to talk about demons and or the devil. And so if you think about the lore of vampires, we're not talking Twilight vampires, but if you talk
vampires show up a lot in folk horror just to the longevity of the story of vampires.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that the way that Sinners tells a vampire story is not like the way that
a traditional vampire
movie is. It's not Dracula. It is something different.
Yep. And very rooted in cultural themes and very rooted in, although not set in like a traditional, 1800s folk kind of story. It's like a new age folk horror movie.
Agreed. And I would go so far as to say that Nosferatu.
Yeah, 100%, dude.
I think that another area that folk horror could have hot takes on that I include for sure is indigenous. I think there's a lot of indigenous horror out there. So if you talk movie-wise, Antlers, I think you could or could not include absolutely. You could or could not include like Bone Tomahawk.
I would put Bone Tomahawk in, because I don't think there's enough Western horrors to call it a Western horror, like as a genre.
Right.
But it's as close as you can fucking get.
Yeah. So I think that, indigenous and
somebody should call it just fucking like gore porn though.
You're talking about The Scene.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of bad, brutal scenes in it, but then there's The Scene.
Then there's the scene.
the scene. And if you're listening to this and you don't know what it is,
you didn't get through Bone Tomahawk.
You didn't get through Bone Tomahawk. And if you do, and you YouTube it or Google it or whatever, brace yourself.
Be warned.
It is
visceral.
It is. There's a reason why it's notoriously called The Scene.
Here's the thing. You're going to spend the entire movie going, this is a horror film?
And then you get to it.
And then you go, oh yeah, this is pretty horrible.
Yeah. So, and
a bad movie. The Scene is truly horrible.
It is. And so I think that this is actually a really good transition into our segment on our Tomes of the Dead.
The Tomes of Darkness.
So in this segment, we're going to talk about books, graphic novels that all are deeply rooted in horror. And so I think this is a great opportunity to talk, a good transition to talk about books.
Absolutely. Because, literature is silly with folk horror.
It really is. The last 4 that I have read, folk horror.
The last 4 I've enjoyed folk horror.
Oh, you know what? That's probably a better way to say it, because I think I had a couple in there in between.
And I take that back because Fantastic Land was absolutely awesome.
Which, please? So, at this very moment, I am listening to a folk horror book called Never Whistle at Night. And it is a bunch of short anthology stories from an indigenous perspective. So some of it is about indigenous peoples. Some of it is about indigenous peoples and their folklore. Is it Graham? It's a bunch of different writers.
You did say anthology. Okay.
Yeah, I have at this point in time, I am maybe 20% in, and I've had 5 different stories.
Okay.
And they're short, they are incredibly compelling.
Are they scary?
There's been a couple. I would say the 3 that I've enjoyed the most so far have been more unsettling, which I like.
Yeah.
Very unsettling. And, I think that some of them are dealing with straight up indigenous folklore, which is cool. The first one was that way. The second one was more of the first and second, the second and third were very like the colonization sort of, but modern day. It's like the horrors of that. And it's just the first 3 out of the gate are just fantastic. They really hook you in. And so I really, really like that aspect of folk horror where you have people's cultures and, stories and things like that. And I think that that's why I really dig this. Yeah. So that, I think that was the thing I'm currently reading. The one, that I've read, prior to that, which was also a fantastic book, and you've started it but not finished it, is Slewfoot.
Yeah.
Which is your run-of-the-mill folk horror. It is a witchy story. It is witch trial kind of. Yeah, it is so and indigenous. I don't know that you made it that far, but
I did not.
It weaves in indigenous people with paganism.
Oh, that makes total sense, dude.
It is so. I think that the things that caught you off guard that you declared as weird, I think you didn't make it to the point that they identify it as indigenous.
The stuff that seems super out of place and thematically, and yeah.
So I think what it does a really good job of is uniting, making a big picture, right? So like, what you may call something in one culture is something identically called this in another. You may call it the devil or Satan in your Puritan culture, but over here in the indigenous world, we called it this.
Baba Yaga.
And that was super cool to weave those in together. And the way that it ends is just chef's kiss. Like, I know that you will love it the way that it ends. And it is the classic element of a folk horror. It has a slow burn, but once you get to it, it's got those good elements of like a classic witch hunt where, the woman, she's a witch.
Drown
I think you'll dig it a lot. It is super duper good.
If she weighs as much as a chicken, she's a witch.
They do mention in there like, oh well, we could drown her in a lake with rocks, and then someone's like, yeah, but most of the time that happens, they weren't really witches. We just drowned them.
Yeah. One second.
And so it's on the notes.
I had to check the title of this book while we're on indigenous horror, because I think it is modern day, but it has indigenous themes. The main character is a young Native American boy, and it's about his father and him. It's called Mapping the Interior.
Okay.
And it is one of the first books in forever I read that was truly like, do I want to keep reading this?
Oh, okay.
Like, I don't know if I'll come out of this the same.
Is it rooted in reality and folklore, or just reality?
It's rooted in reality. There is some folklore. There is some kind of... It is also a ghost story.
Okay, that's where I think I was going with it. Yeah.
It is also a ghost story, but with, like, indigenous theme.
No, I love it. I just wrote it down. I think another one that was just recently named on President Obama's favorite horror books is The Bison Hunter.
I want to read that. That's Graham, I think, isn't it?
I think it is.
Yeah.
I think.
He does, like, exclusively indigenous horror.
Okay.
He did I think he did the ones across the river and, like,
Got it.
The Only Good Indian.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I also, you actually got me onto this author.
T. Kingfisher. Dude, great. Oh, and that's more indigenous stuff meeting paganism and overall folklore.
Oh, for sure. So I read my out of the gate was Hollow Places, which is not a folk horror.
No.
But
right.
It is, well, actually, it isn't, but it has elements that lean into it because it does have that Appalachia.
I know. I was just, as you said it, there is like a down-homey kind of aspect to it.
So I think the apparatus that is the horror in that book isn't folk, but I think that it is steeped in folklore.
Yes.
So that's the Hollow Places is such a good book, well written.
Yeah.
It's got a fantastic amount of humor to it, which was very well needed. From there,
What'd you follow up with?
You recommended what Moves the Dead, the Fall of the House of Usher. Really good one. Again,
that main character.
Yeah. And then the sequel to that is What Feast at Night.
And I have not finished that yet.
So I would say that that What Feast at Night is heavy folk horror.
Okay.
Heavy.
Okay.
It is very, very steeped in I can't remember the culture over in in Europe, Eastern Europe, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
But
not all his stories, but that series is based over there.
Yeah.
Prussia and shit. Not Prussia.
I think it might be. It's something like
Yeah.
it is a state that is no longer
Right,
there.
it's like a
So
former state. Yeah,
I think Canaanite.
that makes sense.
They call themselves a Canaanite.
Something
Anyway,
like that, yeah.
Anyway, it's so good.
It's real.
So good. But What Moves the Dead is a really good book. I love Fall of the House of Usher. I love the interpretations of it. I would say that while
But this one,
it has a cool take on it.
got its own flavor.
It does have its own flavor. It has its own flavor, and I really, really, really dig it. It's very gross. It's got some body horror.
I could talk body horror. We'll do a Cronin.
Right, we will do a body horror one day because I know that is what folk horror is to me. I think body horror is to you.
Probably.
So yeah, that is what I'm currently reading. What are the last ones you've read that you've enjoyed?
Last ones I read that I enjoyed folk horror wise. Mapping the Interior for sure was great.
Yep.
I actually read a Louis L'Amour.
Okay.
It's the only horror fantasy he ever wrote.
Okay.
And it's called Haunted Mesa.
Okay.
And it is fun, dude. It's very Louis L'Amour in scale, like
Okay.
epicness. There's a lot of here, there. There's just these great fantasy and folk horror elements to it. Having to do with the original peoples of the Mesa, and then it gets a little.
Ooh.
What you think is sci-fi turns out to be fantasy.
You've hooked me.
It's really fun, dude, and has some parts that are really, really scary.
Okay.
Yeah. What else did I read folk horror wise or watch?
And just while you're thinking, I would be remiss if we didn't spend just a little bit of time on graphic novels.
Ooh.
Because it's not one that I think that is huge in the horror space of comics, but there are some, and the ones that are there are good. The one that you and I have both read, but I don't think we finished the series, is Moonshiners.
Yes, 100%. 100%.
Moonshine. When you watch Sinners, it's that, right? It's that, but it's not that.
That just hit me, dude.
I think that's why I like that movie so much, is because I read that book probably. I read the first few volumes of that.
I don't think there's a Sinners without that book.
There's no way.
There's no way, right?
There's no way. But it is so close to each other.
Yeah.
In so many ways.
In a lot of ways now that I sit here and think about it.
That is one that I really, really dig. Through the Woods is one.
Through the Woods.
Yeah. I'm going to go for all you traditional comic book nerds, the ones that don't subscribe to the Image Comics or Dark Horse. Marvel has Marvel 1602, which I believe that's the one that was written by Neil Gaiman.
That sounds awesome. I've never heard of this.
So you take the Marvel Universe, your Captain America, your Iron Man, your Doctor Doom, you take all those characters and you put them in Puritan 1602 America.
Look, I'm downloading this immediately.
It is distinctly Neil Gaiman. So you have it is not written like a comic book. It is written like a literary piece.
So awesome.
That has the mechanism of Marvel Comics in it.
That's
I wouldn't necessarily like there are elements of it that are horror, like because I think anything in that Puritan time is kind of
Scary.
horrific. It's scary. You don't read anything from the Pilgrim's age.
Times, man, motherfuckers walking
you-
around with buckles on their hats, burning people.
Yeah, you just don't read anything from those days that is light and airy. It's all dark. And so this is no exception to that. And it is incredibly well done. I think it got a lot of awards. You know, we would be remiss if we didn't say that obviously, you know, Neil Gaiman has a lot of allegations and terrible things against him. And so,
I didn't realize
you know,
that.
I think he did
some not cool shit.
He did some super not cool shit. And so I think it's important to denounce that and say that, you know, we support the work of art and not the artist.
Now, usually I don't do this, but
I mean, would you call American Gods? It's not horror.
No, but it's a folk story.
I would call that folk fantasy. There are chapters in it that are steeped in horror.
Oh God, yeah. That whole time he's in that little town.
That's exactly where I was about to go. Was exactly that. The one with the car on the lake.
Yes, the whole time he's in that little town is just fucking creepy, dude.
And I believe he's got a girl there. The girl that Shadow is with, I think she is an indigenous person, and she's the one that talks about that their culture. A lot of those side stories that talk about the immigration of gods, a lot of those are horrific.
Yeah. Not necessarily folk horror, pretty contemporary, but I'm just really digging it. Fucking DC Vampires is good.
Yeah.
DC Vampires is pretty fucking rad, dude.
It is. Super good comic.
Constantine. We got to mention Constantine.
Folk horror you cannot mention. Yeah, Constantine is so steeped
in the folk horror, dude. Like, well, religious horror. Like, if you're gonna lump in religious horror and
yeah, I mean, if you go in that route, you could go with Preacher.
I would call Preacher straight up.
Yeah, you could go Sandman in certain elements.
Yeah,
although it gets more fantastical. There are elements that are steeped deeply in religious horror.
There are. I'm thinking. So in my head, I just had this thought.
Hellboy,
to a certain extent. Maybe more fantasy. But I just had this thought. I think part of what makes folk horror is there has to be folk. Like townsfolk. Like there has to be people milling about. You know what I mean? So I think that excludes some movies, like off the bat.
So you're getting that kind of small town setting. And that goes back to what we originally talked about with it's got that eerie feeling to it.
Yes, rural.
And I think that you have to have a small space.
Yeah. Do you think drawn to that being from rural places?
I think both of us, yes. Yeah, both of us being from Arkansas, I think that probably compels us a bit because think about how much people love the Appalachian horror.
The power of rice compels you. What?
Yeah, that's funny. So yeah, I definitely think that is because Arkansas has its own lore to it, with cryptids and
indigenous folks,
ghost stories and indigenous folks and Civil War history. That
a lot of ghosts,
which is not folk, but yeah, I think that we have a lot there that I think that the eeriness
and 4 large-ish cities all spread out across the state.
In almost the 4 corners. Yeah. Almost, not quite.
Just about it.
But, absolutely. Well, there are 4. I'd say 5 cities. You got all 4 corners and the one in the center.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
But yeah, I mean, if you've ever grown up and when, again, us being from rural areas where there was not a lot to do, even in the cities we grew up in that are much more advanced now than they were. 100%. When we grew up, there wasn't anything to do. So driving out in the middle of nowhere was something to do.
Yep. And you did it a lot.
And being in the middle of the woods, being in the middle of a back road, in the middle of a cornfield, You know,
Yeah.
if you look at I saw one the other day, a map of like haunted houses throughout the United States. Arkansas is steeped with them. And if you think about the cornfields, yeah, they are.
Mm-hmm.
Dark Harvest is where I'm going.
Dark Harvest.
Children of the Corn. Let me back up. Children of the Corn and Dark Harvest vary in the same element. Dark Harvest is that small town that made a deal, the wrong deal.
The Crazies.
Yep. So at this point, I think why don't we jump in and I think we have a list of our top 5.
Top 5 folk horror?
Top 5 folk horror.
Time for the top 5.
All right. You hit me with your number 5.
My number 5 is going to be The Ritual.
That's a great one.
You know, I've not read the book. It is on my list, but I absolutely love that movie. For those of you who don't know, Suge and I, we played D&D together. The first D&D campaign I ever did was one that his brother did for him for his birthday, and it was a horror D&D one-shot based on The Ritual. So good. It is just that movie.
Oh, so scary, dude.
It's scary and creepy, and then it just gets progressively more. Once you know what it is, it gets more and more real. Mm-hmm. And like, oh man, it is. It is such a.
Once they let you in on once the curtain is pulled back, it is off the fucking rails.
That's where I'm going with that. Yes, it is. It just ramps up. So I would say that for me is my number 5.
Okay. My number 5, I'm going to go. I'm torn, man. Because I'm looking at 10 of them, and they're all. I'm going with a classic. I'm going Witchfinder General.
These proceedings shall be carried out through due process of law. What law demands, we shall satisfy. You will each be tied in a prescribed fashion and cast into the moat. Should you then sink, we will know that your confessions are false. If, on the other hand, you are seen to swim or float, then your confessions of witchcraft are proven beyond a doubt in the sight of God.
Yep. And that is on my list. I've not seen it. I've got it. I've looked into it, and I'm super excited
Witchfinder.
about it.
Okay, let me see if I can break this movie down a little bit without ruining it.
Give us the premise.
Yeah. So, it stars Vincent Price, which horror legend, Scream King. You know, we all stan our Scream Kings. Set during the English Civil War, 1645, follows the self-appointed witchfinder, Sir Matthew Hopkins, who exploits the chaos of the war to travel across eastern UK, Anglia, stirring up shit and finding witches.
I mean,
he is both the hero and the villain.
Of course he is.
And it is Vincent. I think it's Vincent Price's best movie. And it's up there. It's going to make a lot of top 5. Folk horror lists. Definitely check it out.
All right. My number 4 is a new edition, The Watchers.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah. So here's the thing. It has horror aspects. Is it like there's a couple of really tense moments, but for the most part, I would put it more in the thriller category.
What was The Watch?
But it is. So The Watchers is a book that was made into a movie. It's got Dakota Fanning in it.
Okay.
And it's got the girl from Barbarian in it.
Oh, nice.
And yeah. And it is people. There's this one. as all folk horror kind of does. There's this patch of woods in Ireland where if you it's not on any map, but there's a road that leads there, but the road doesn't lead there. You get there, you get lost, and then the premise is fairies. So fairies are the watchers, and they can shapeshift. And so there's a professor that's built this structure that is concrete and glass out in the middle of the woods, and these people get lost there, and that's the only refuge that they have. And so at night, these fairies watch them.
Dude, that sounds...
And it's so good. And you at day, they're able to go out and get food and forage, but they can't go so far because they couldn't make it out of the woods that they wanted to. And then you get the lore mixed in. And then once you think it's over with, it keeps going. And it is really good. I
kind of ritual spin out.
It does. It does. Yeah. It hits that. I would put those two really close together, and that they scratch that same itch.
Okay. My number 4 could be debatable. Werewolf of London.
Yep.
Werewolf of London.
Great movie.
Is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
The transformation will make you absolutely, it will make your skin crawl if you've never seen it.
Oh, it's got some body horror.
It's heavy body horror. Dude, I might be a body horror guy. I might be.
I don't know why you're saying you might be. You are. I'll diagnose you. You are.
Have you ever heard of insect politics? Neither have I. Insects don't have politics.
When we talk about the horror movies and you're giving me a list, they're mostly body horror. A one that did not make this list that I think is a folk horror steeped in body horror, and it may be on your list, Men.
Oh my God. Men is such, it did not make my list. It's not my top 5, but it's definitely my top 25. 25 ever.
Yeah. I didn't.
I loved it.
I didn't love it as much. It's a good movie. It is gorgeous. It does body horror so well, and I love the folk element to it.
Slow burn and the build.
The build is wild.
I love it.
Once you realize what's happening, that's where I got turned off. When I knew what was going on, it lost me. That's wild, but once I knew what was happening, I was like, oh, okay. Then the payoff isn't there as much anymore. I can see that. Werewolf
of London it's about curses. It's about, fucking getting lost in a patch of fucking woods in Ireland and fucking around and finding out.
Yeah. I need to go back and rewatch that. That's a really.
It's
great. It's been a long time. Yeah.
You're number 3.
Hereditary.
Done. Yeah. Hereditary.
And honestly, it pained me to not put it higher.
Yeah.
Is it better than my 2 and 1? Yeah, it's a better movie than my 2 and. Well, it's definitely a better movie than my 2.
Okay.
But I think that you're going to see a pattern with 3, 1, and 2 for me. They're all modern age. They're all in.
We might have the same number 1.
Okay. All right. We don't. I can guarantee you we don't. But my 2 is probably your 1. Hereditary is just, you don't know it's folk horror until you know it's folk horror. And it's possible that you watch the whole thing and don't know that it's folk horror. You have to understand what the family curse is and what the premise is. And if you get what Ari's going for there, it's folk horror as folk horror gets, but it's modern.
And you don't know. And it's got that, oh my God, dude. I love that movie. I love that movie so much. Because
I didn't think I was going to like it
until it takes off, and then it fucking goes.
You're right. Although I think from instant one, that little girl does a great job of making you feel so uncomfortable that even though it's slow, you're still uncomfortable.
100%.
You're never. You don't start that movie feeling good.
God, and then the mom meets that. Oh,
Yeah, just through and through the movie.
great film.
I think it's going to be a lot like when you look at horror in the
Modern age.
2010 and beyond. A lot of people are going to have it in their top.
Blow
five.
it. Yeah, I mean, it blows everything out of the water almost.
Yeah.
That movie.
What's your number 3?
Number 3 is going to be Lighthouse.
Yeah.
Lighthouse is a game changer.
You're gonna. I haven't seen.
You're
it
going to
yet.
love it or hate it.
I think I'm gonna love it.
I think you'll love it.
I love the director. I love Robert Pattinson. I mean, you can't love Defoe. Like, there's no reason I won't love it.
Exactly. It's a true look into madness
Yeah.
with fart jokes.
Yep. Absolutely.
Hit me with your numero dos.
My number 2 is The Witch.
Like Philip, I conjure thee to speak to me. Speak as thou dost speak to Jonas and Mercy. Dost thou understand my English tongue? Answer me.
What dost thou want?
Same director, right?
Eggers, yep.
Yep.
Hot take.
I think
I thought The Witch was boring and dumb.
Did you do the rewatch that we talked about?
No, I need to do the rewatch we talked about.
Okay, so here's the thing. Alexa, stop. On the first watch, it is a slow burn. It has the eerie. It has the slow burn.
It is eerie.
Once you... So let me tell you why I loved it.
Tell me. Yeah.
Instantly. I'm watching this movie, and I'm watching this girl who, in my opinion, is the only... It's a family of Puritans that have been excommunicated. They are no longer a part of the Puritan community that they are a part of. They live out in the woods. They're surviving on their own.
Yeah.
They are nearing winter, and they are going to struggle. There's no way around
They're going to have a hard time.
Great actors and actresses through and through. The mother, the father.
The dad.
I mean, we're talking a cast of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7.
And then
7 tops.
7 tops, and then if you don't count the court and all that, because those people don't count, You're talking seconds. 7 people on screen at any given point in time, not including the animals, which are characters in this. Black Phillip. The girl is the only. You're out there. You're talking about how. I think the dad is such a religious fanatic that he calls the other people in the group like he's more pure than them, and that's why he's kicked out. So clearly religion's an important part to them. Where things get interesting for me is as I'm
Puritans.
Yeah, I think that's the thing is I think that he was like, if I'm not mistaken, and I would need to rewatch here.
These fools are slipping up.
Yeah, I think he's calling people out, and they're like, get the hell out of here.
Wow.
So religion is incredibly important to them. And the funniest part, or not funny, the part that makes it so compelling is that the daughter is the only one who is pure.
Oh,
if you look at where the brother goes wrong and the little boy and the little girl, you can map to the 7 deadly sins here. You talk the boy is lust. You talk about the mother is pride. You talk, I think the father also has pride. If you start looking at that, where really the only person there that is a pure of heart is her.
That's true. That's very true.
And they're the ones that are pinning it on her.
That's true.
And then, and I think if you go back to
I'm going to rewatch that
talk,
tonight.
If you go back to our book talk, I think why Slewfoot was so good for me is it has similar endings, and it has a similar, not exactly the same at all, but it has that same, like, the girl was never the problem until you made her the problem.
That's true. Yeah. I need to watch it again.
And I think that it is so eerie and one-dimensional until you think about what it is that's in it and the lore that is baked into it. And I think that is where it rises to me towards the top. If you aren't thinking on the next level, it's too boring to even think about. Highly encourage you to give it a shot and think about the next level.
I'm gonna have some time tonight. I'm gonna rewatch it.
Anyone else listening to this, watch that movie and think too much about it. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't that serious. Don't think that too much. Don't think too much on it. Do that it for this one. Think too much on it.
Bet. I'm gonna do that. And it's a solid, I mean, for a number 2 spot, you can't argue that.
Absolutely.
Ooh, gosh, this is rough. Because we're getting to the nitty gritty. Actually, I'm going to go Deliverance.
It's not what I thought you were going to say, and also is exactly what I thought you were going to say. I think that if you could call Bone Tomahawk a folk horror, you could do it for Deliverance. I don't think that it's traditional in the pagan sense or the folklore. It's got some folklore.
And it's not a slow burn.
Not at all. It is one of those movies that, God, don't even get me started on Deliverance. It's one of those movies that you really only have to see once. And I think what I love about that movie is how forward thinking it was, and that men hate that movie because they're the victims of sexual assault in it. And it flips the script for men, and that's why it's so hated, is because for centuries,
so uncomfortable for men.
Yeah, that is it. It is because they're finally the victims.
And the thing is, that part, squeal like a pig for me.
Squeal like a piggy. Yep.
It happens early on. It's a 10-minute scene, but it sticks with you.
Yeah.
And it sticks with these men all the way through this hellacious escape.
Yeah. I mean, Suge, you got a pretty mouth.
Yeah. Gorge. Good prison pussy.
Yeah. Great. Truly great number 2. I mean, really, very, very, it's hard to talk about horror films and not put that in your Mount Rushmore. It's great.
It's awesome.
Men aren't going to, but it is. It's up there. My number 1, Midsommar.
Can I say my number 1? Midsommar.
Okay. I thought you were either going to put number 1 as Wicker Man or Midsommar, and both are the same thing.
Yeah, dude. But I've got this story to go with Midsommar.
Please.
I was on vacation with a group of friends. 2019. We're in our 30s, so they all had kids with them. It was a bunch of families and stoner Uncle Suge. So one day I slip off by myself. I go play some disc golf. It's 115 fucking degrees, right? I'm dying by the time I'm done. All I want is air conditioning, and all I can think of is a movie theater.
Yep, great place for it.
Dude, I'm looking at the movies out. I have no idea what any of these are. I know half of them are PG, and then I see...
And the other half is Marvel.
And then I see Midsommar, rated R, guy that did Hereditary. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll give this a shot. And if you read the synopsis, Doesn't give you a lot.
It doesn't. I didn't know anything about this movie going into this movie.
Neither did I. I proceed to get absolutely ripped to the gills in my car, and then watched and had what I describe as the most beautiful and terrifying afternoon of my life.
Yeah, I bet.
It was so good and so pretty.
It's a gorgeous movie. Gorgeous movie.
It's in my top 5 horror, maybe top 3 horror all time. It is.
Yeah, I think it's on my top 5.
It's beautiful. You get
Yeah,
these horrific things are happening, but you can't turn away from it.
It's got elements of comedy in it, which I think is great. I think it layers in some comedic aspects to kind of make you laugh. I think it's got some compelling characters, and it's got characters that you aren't compelled with.
Yeah,
like I would say that, like the boyfriend, you just are rooting for him to die.
There are people in this film, when they get it, you do not feel bad for them, really.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. It is start to finish.
And what I love about
when they get abroad, when they get to the festival, from that moment that they arrive there to the end of that film is just bonkers.
Absolutely. And the scene when you know it's going down, when they first get there and they line up for the rocks at the cliffs.
The elders.
I mean, from that moment
when the first one jumps.
From that moment forward, dude, that movie. And I love Ari Aster. It is Ari Aster, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I love him because he can take moments. Like, to me, one of the most uncomfortable moments in that film has nothing to do with blood or gore or violence or anything. If anything, it's an embracing moment, and it's the most uncomfortable thing I've ever seen. The crying.
At the end?
The group crying. It's hard to watch, dude, and nothing scary happens.
And if anything, I think that, like, you and I talked about this, that movie is, Ari, like one of our favorites, Zach Cregger's,
Sure.
Eggers. I would put those 3 on my Mount Rushmore, those 3. And the reason, and I would say Jordan Peele being maybe a 4th. And the reason why I like them is because that their movies are not surface level.
No.
You can watch those movies at the surface level, and they are what they are.
Sure.
But you can also dig and dig and dig and dig. And
Keep finding.
I think Midsummer, what he bakes in about grief.
Oh my God.
And acceptance. And it is enablism.
Anger and depression and every step. You're right. Every step of grief is hit.
Yeah. He absolutely crushes it. It's just, I kind of want to watch it tonight when Laura goes to bed.
Well, The Witch and that might be too much.
I would do The Witch.
Yeah, I'll do The Witch.
Here's the thing. What you need tonight, you need to get ripped.
Yeah.
You need to have yourself a heavy soup.
There we go.
A stew.
There we go.
And then you need to watch that movie. Really get cozy.
You need a thick slurry of meats and potatoes.
That's it. And then just really embrace the darkness. Really, I figured we were going to get there.
Yeah.
The only one that I really thought that might have been on your list that was going to be Wicker Man. My honorable mention is obviously Antlers.
Antlers, yeah.
Good horror film, good creature feature as well.
That's a good. I was going to ask you any honorable mentions.
Yeah, I'm looking over
Man,
here.
for sure.
I think that's
That would make
Yeah, I
most
think
top fives.
Yeah, Wicker Man and Antlers were my and Hot Fuzz were my three.
I almost, after you mentioned Hot Fuzz, it almost made my top five just on the amount of times I've seen it. And
yeah,
I don't think I can slot it in here, but my brain will try every time to put Texas Chainsaw in.
yeah.
But it's a
So
slash.
I think that one of these days, I think we'll have creature features and we'll have body horror and we'll do slashers and
It's a slasher.
Slashers. It's hard. I think that when you think about Freddy Krueger and you think about Jason and you think about just Friday the 13th and Halloween and Scream, it often, because of its sort of like, you've got one in the 70s and you got one in the early 2000s, because of its sort of sporadic release of itself, you forget about it. But God, it's such a good horror film.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It is just, you're in the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong people. I mean, even like, I know that the original is fantastic. It is real. I wouldn't say that it's got the kind of folky thing to it. Yeah. Because if you're going to, I mean, yeah, it is your traditional
and
slasher.
then in the second and third one, it goes bonkers bananas.
Would you consider the one in the 2000s? Is that what you're considering the second?
The one in the 2000.
Or are you considering that what it is, a reboot?
Yeah, that's a reboot. I'm talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 and 3 that came out in
like
80
70s or 80s.
Yeah. The one with Dennis Hopper is
Got
where
it.
it goes
Got it.
absolutely bonkers.
I will say though, I do like the reboot. I'm sure people hate it. It's what got me back into horror in that time period. When I was watching a lot of horror, I watched it and I loved it.
Yeah, this is interesting. I'm looking at
a little R. Lee Army.
Would you put I wouldn't put Apocalypto. I'm looking at somebody else's list and they have Apocalypto on there. There are mind rituals and omens and
yeah, I could see it.
There's an argument.
I don't know that there's an argument to be had.
But if anything,
there's an
it's
argument to be had.
action.
Well, I mean, I think you'd put the same. Wouldn't you do the same thing with the Bone Tomahawk?
Yeah, fair enough.
Because I mean, that's a western with folk horror.
You're right.
In it. I would call that an action movie with folk horror.
You're right.
In it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that you can sort of take movies that aren't folk horror that have folk horror in it. Take the Runes, for example.
Yeah.
That's got some indigenous, like Amazonian.
Yes. But I call it.
That's body horror.
Yeah, 100% it's body horror, and it is in my top. Like when I read that book in high school, dude. Oh, I loved it. I loved it so much. It's such a throw because it's just such a throwback to classic Cronenbergian body horror.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait for our body horror one because I'm sure you're going to run rampant.
Dude, probably. Yeah,
and I'm almost positive that you and I are going to have the same number one. I hope we do. If not, I know that my number one will be in your top 5.
100%.
But
and there's some recent I need to watch still.
Yeah,
The Substance.
Yeah,
I haven't
for
seen
sure.
The Substance yet.
Agreed. I have not yet. Love Margaret Qualley. So, I think we'll end this with our game, pouring one out for Dead Homies, where Suge and I are both going to name a death, serious or not serious movie where it made us laugh. I'm going to stay in focus with folk horror, and I'm going to go with Wicker Man. Oh God, the bees.
Got the bees. Okay.
What is that? What is that? What is it? Oh, no, not the bees! Not the bees! Ah! Open my eyes! My eyes!
There are people that think that Wicker Man is a comedy because of that scene. When he knocks her out. Yeah. There are people that think, because Nick Cage goes hard in the paint in anything he does. You can say he's a bad actor. You're wrong, but you could say it. You could say that he is an unserious actor. You can't say that he doesn't go hard in the paint every role he's in. 112. I'm convinced he not. Well, I'm convinced he actually knocked the woman out.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah. Not even the best Wicker Man. Yeah. The original's way better, but
you got to pour one out.
It's Nick Cage.
You got to pour one out for the Cage.
You got to pour one out for the Cage dying in a cage.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Full of bees on fire. Oh, God, the bees!
Christ.
Yeah. Yeah. It's great.
You know what?
Who is your dead?
I had one that I was going to do, but I'm going to stick with the theme also. And
okay.
Because it was so jarring and I was so ripped in the theater, I did laugh at the part in Midsommar, the cleanup crew.
I think, go on. So this was the other one that I was going to mention
cleanup
as my dead homie
for Midsommar, dude. It's
super funny.
You're not ready for it, but then it happens, and it's just like, well, of course, yeah, somebody's got to do it.
Yeah. That one, and then there's another one in Midsommar that got honorable mention. The guy who is the friend, the black guy who's the friend of the boyfriend, who they ended up doing similar, where the boyfriend copies his thesis, that they're all there for the friend to do his thesis on. And he is in that room reading the book, and the face, the guy with the face, like his friend's face is over it, and from a distance he's like, "Oh, that's my friend." And then when he realized, "Oh, I'm fucked."
There's a look, dude. That's good shit.
Yeah, it made me giggle a little bit. Yeah, so folk horror. It's a great place, but I cannot wait to talk with you on creature features, with slashers, with body horror.
Everything
with we can I think we're going to go into specific directors. I think we'll go into
some specific actors, eras.
I think we're going to try to break down maybe some top fives every time and talk about that. And then also we're going to have some special ones where we're going to try to live stream us watching movies together, which again I think will be super fun.
And what you want to go ahead and just go ahead and give them the topic for next week? Let's do body horror.
Why don't we do body horror?
And we'll just we can both just fucking blow our loads right out of the gate.
Drink some of this, Michael. Be one of us.